Right now, as you're listening to this, your body is performing millions of incredibly complex jobs, and you're not even thinking about it. It's this constant, silent effort that keeps you alive and healthy. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on this amazing biological machine in our explainer on homeostasis.
So to really get to the heart of this, let's start with something every single one of us has experienced.
I mean, you know it happens, but have you ever really stopped to think about it? Are these just random, kind of uncomfortable reactions, or is there something much, much smarter going on? Well, the answer is they are not random at all. In fact, they're precise, calculated responses. Your body is working around the clock to maintain a very specific internal environment, no matter what's happening outside.
And that incredible balancing act has a name: homeostasis. This is the core principle that allows all warm-blooded creatures, including us, to thrive in a world that's always changing. It's all about keeping things, well, just right on the inside.
And when I say just right, I don't mean close enough. We're talking about an incredibly narrow, super specific range. Your body is basically a vigilant micromanager, constantly tweaking your temperature, your blood sugar, your pH levels, your hydration. If any of these get too far off their target, the consequences can be pretty serious.
So, how in the world does your body pull this off? How does it know exactly when to step in? Well, the core mechanism is actually a beautifully simple idea.
The best way to picture it is like the thermostat in your house. Your body has an ideal temperature it's always trying to maintain. That's its set point. When things drift too high or too low, a control system kicks in to bring it right back to that sweet spot.
This control system is called a negative feedback loop. Now, don't let the name fool you. It sounds bad, but it's actually the hero of our story. In this case, negative just means it negates or reverses whatever change is happening. You're getting too hot, it cools you down. Getting too cold, it warms you up. It's always about bringing you back to center.
Okay, let's break down how this actually works. It's got 4 key players. First, you have a stimulus. That's anything that pushes a variable off balance. Then a receptor, which is like a tiny sensor, detects that change. It sends an alert to the control setter, which is usually your brain, and the brain then commands an effector, like a muscle or a gland, to jump into action and fix the problem.
Let's trace this right here on the slide. Check out that top loop. The stimulus is your body temperature rising. Receptors in your skin and brain sense this heat and fire off a message to the control center, your hypothalamus. The hypothalamus then activates the effectors, your sweat glands, which release sweat to cool you down. And the bottom loop just shows the exact opposite for when you're cold. It's just a simple, elegant, and super effective system. Okay, so running all of these feedback loops 24/7 requires a seriously sophisticated communication network. So let's meet the 2 major systems that are in charge of keeping everything in sync.
On one side, you've got the nervous system. This thing sends lightning-fast electrical signals for immediate responses. Think of it like sending an urgent text message. On the other side, you've got the endocrine system, which uses chemical messengers called hormones that travel through your blood. This is more like a company-wide email broadcast, coordinating slower, long-term processes. Both are absolutely critical for homeostasis. And sitting right at the intersection of these 2 amazing systems is the hypothalamus. This tiny little region of the brain is the master coordinator. It takes in all the nerve signals and translates them into hormonal responses, making sure the entire body is working from the same game plan.
This whole system is designed to keep us healthy and thriving, but that of course raises a really important question. What happens when this perfectly tuned balance breaks?
Well, to put it simply, a breakdown in homeostasis is the definition of disease. When your body can't maintain its internal balance anymore, whether it's from an injury, an infection, or even genetics, things start to go wrong, and that's when you start feeling symptoms.
It's also just a reality of getting older. As we age, these super intricate control systems can become a little less sharp, a little less responsive. And this gradual loss of precision is behind a lot of the physical changes and increased health risks we all face over time. And remember, we're not just talking about temperature. Take your kidneys, for instance. These things are absolute masters of what's called osmoregulation. They are constantly filtering your blood to keep your body's water and salt levels perfectly balanced. It's another one of these critical homeostatic jobs happening every single second of your life.
To make this crystal clear, let's zoom in on one of the most well-known examples of a homeostatic failure: diabetes.
So, in a healthy person, your blood sugar is tightly controlled. After you eat something, your pancreas releases insulin, which basically tells your cells, hey, open up and take in some sugar from the blood. If your blood sugar drops too low, the pancreas releases a different hormone, glucagon, which tells your liver to release some stored sugar. It's this perfect push and pulse system.
Now, this feedback loop can fail in two totally different ways. With type 1 diabetes, the body's own immune system actually attacks and destroys the cells that make insulin. With type 2, the body is making insulin, but the cells just stop listening to its message. They become resistant. In either case, the loop is broken.
And the end result is the same. The body loses its ability to lower its blood sugar. This failure of homeostasis leads to chronically high glucose levels, which, over time, can cause serious damage to blood vessels, nerves, and organs all throughout the body.
And just take a second to think about this. Blood sugar is just one of these systems. There are over 50 different hormonal feedback loops constantly running in your body, and each one is like a vital instrument in this grand symphony that keeps you alive and well.
So here's the big takeaway from all this. Health isn't some static thing you just have. It's not a statue. It's more like a dynamic performance, like watching a tightrope walker constantly making tiny adjustments to stay on the wire. It is an active, moment-to-moment process of keeping your balance, all powered by these incredible unseen systems.
And this brings us to one final thought. We live in a world that is constantly throwing challenges at our internal systems, from the food we eat to the stress we're under. Knowing just how hard our bodies are working to maintain this balance, the real question becomes, what choices can we make every single day to help support this amazing, life-sustaining act?